right, doing an update video on what's been going on with the Corvette. I'm going to go over some of the HPTuner stuff that I've been doing, and basically there's tons of videos out there how to do this stuff. I have been watching the Goat Rope. This guy is very knowledgeable, and I've been trying to do something about the speed density. A lot of what's in this tune right now that I've got is basically off of this YouTube video. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional tuner, so if you do this stuff to your car and you blow it up, it's on you. I'm basically running, I went through this video and set my stuff up as close as possible to what this guy was talking about. Obviously I have a turbo 350, manual transmission. Also a little bit of an update on the car. I went ahead and bought a dual fan radiator, aluminum. $200. You can get them on eBay, and they, basically C3 Corvette, and it pretty much went right in, no problem. Of course, we have my lovely wiring right here. I wired both fans directly through a switch to the battery. To make absolutely sure this thing was working. I was going to try to do a relay, but I just don't trust relays. Also, I moved the air cleaner back up to this location due to the fact that a lot of my problems I was having performance-wise were the stupid high-performance plug wires I bought, and I put it on the car, and they started inching their way off of the plugs. So I went and bought a stock set of plug wires. I probably said that in the last video. So I've been I got the tags on it. Obviously it's insured, it's tagged. I drove it last night. I've been driving it on the weekends, and the car is relatively tight. In the first couple of videos, when it had the small block Chevy in it, I drove this thing for 2 hours from Temple to College Station. So, and it had some rear end issues. It still kind of has a little bit of a noisy or a crunchy rear end feeling to it. I have been taking this car out, and right now with the tune in it, you can't even keep it on the road, and you can't even hold the throttle down. It'll just, go up in smoke. I'm going to play a little video of what I was doing with the AFR, and we can discuss, what happened after that. So, real quick, the previous video, I bought the AFR, I installed it, and I was thinking about using it's got an analog input that you can use, and you're supposed to hook it up to the EGR or some other channel inside of the ECU. But it's really kind of dumb simple. You can just use the serial output on the AFR and buy a USB to DB9 serial connector and just plug in the wires, and HPTuners will recognize it. So that was kind of cool, and I'm going to show that video. Not sure you can hear this. I'm in my car getting ready to do another video on this. So I basically got HPTuner set up now via a serial USB connector coming from, all the connections coming out of the AEM gauge running serial into USB and then connecting up to, you see the AEM AFR serial channel. And there we go. I added, and I'll go over this over in the video, you see this AFR, added that to the chart, graph, whatever it's called. And then I'll go over how I created this AFR table, you know, basically using the Spark table. So as we can see, we're kind of all over the place. And now we can actually capture some serious data and go for a cruise and get this thing running right. I went ahead and changed the plug wires back to some factory plug wires. I think I mentioned in the last video the map sensor I replaced because it was doing some craziness. O2 sensors have been replaced. I think that I replaced the MAF sensor, or no, I'm sorry, the TPS as well, so it's starting to work right. So anyway, this is where you really have to be to seriously tune these cars. So shout out to a guy on the internet that did the original work showing how to hook up the serial, but he didn't go into how to make the AFR table. So I will go into that on the next video. Anyway, super happy, getting ready to take a cruise, collect some data. So that is basically where we are with that. I take some cruises and I capture data, and I bring it over to my PC, which we're basically using right now. Let's see, why did it do that? Why is it not where it's supposed to be? Let's see. Okay, it's freaking out. Let's do this. I got these on the desktop. Why is it doing that? Bear with me. Okay, 411. Let's do this one. And so I've been working on the what they call AFR table, which is what you saw. And Goat Rope goes into detail on how to create these tables. There's the AFR. As you can see right in here with the AFR, you can see these values. I was working on the AFR error, and it's not showing up on my desktop because there were things called user math that is actually on my laptop, and that didn't get transferred over. But I'll do another video on that. So as you can see right up in here, just the raw AFR, pretty lean up here. And then we get down to the higher RPM, it looks a little bit better, a little bit rich, which is fine with me. So this particular tune, I don't understand why the spark, jumps around, but there are, this spark was originally set up on this thing to go up to like 60 degrees, and I figured out how to calm that down because we'd start seeing some knock errors in here. But the map was causing that, and the TPS was acting crazy with that as well. So let's see, we'll drop that down. Okay, so this is 5.7. So let's just kind of go over what's going on here. Okay, this isn't going to work because I'm not hooked up. I've got the drive-by wire. I think it's called a PO1 system, a 2002 Tahoe flex fuel engine, and I'll go over some of the things I have changed. This other video from this guy right here, be very careful, but you can watch this video and you will basically see, you know, the same changes that I made. Things that are kind of helpful are the, I went in a previous video, I talked about hooking up the VSS sensor, the vehicle, pulse. I took out the cruise control on the car because obviously that's not going to work. And I basically plugged that VSS sensor in between where the cruise control was. And these are the pulses, these are the settings I set up. And this seems to make the car behave a lot better, especially when you're coming up and you're trying to stop and you don't have the car dying. Let's see, the limiter, I probably jacked this up a little bit. It seems with HPTuners, all you're doing on these stock vehicles is trying to kill all the settings that are trying to take away power. They're trying to keep you from killing the engine, and you're trying to kill the engine. You're trying to run full throttle. So I still have an issue to where I can't go full throttle. This thing will go up to probably 6,700 RPM, and the throttle will start backing off. The timing will start backing off. Because the tires just go up in smoke. I mean, it's insane. The bottom end torque on this is insane. And some of this I don't know if the computer is freaking out and paying attention to these cells or not. I can see this one right here, shift light high RPM 62. But some of these settings actually control how this car keeping you from destroying it. Anyway, one helpful tip is normally on these, I've seen on these other videos, if you set this to 3 on both of these on tack output, I literally have the tack hooked up directly from the vet to the computer, and this seems to be working. Sorry if I mentioned that in another video. Let's see. Basically, torque management is where I had to come in and start jacking these values up. You'll see these same values in the other video. Since this isn't an electronic controlled transmission, I'm not sure how much of this is translating through. So some of this may or may not matter. It depends, but I'm using the clapped out turbo 350. Let's see, abuse mode. Yeah, I jacked this way up. Drivetrain abuse mode to make absolutely sure it's let me do what I want to do. Stall. I'm not sure if I changed that. Again, you'll have to follow this other guy's video. On the spark, what I noticed is that I can basically change the total spark right here, and that was 60 degrees, and this thing would start going into knock. Now I brought it down to 28 degrees, and the car behaved a little bit differently. I wrote it back out as 32 degrees. The car behaved a little bit better. So I've seen other videos where people were jacking this up to, about 40 or so, but it wasn't 60, degrees total. So I'm still working on that. Like I said, you can kind of go through these settings, but they're basically the same thing as, what that guy had in the RPM video. Houston performance video, which is really good, but you've got to pay real close attention to what he's doing because he's rambling and he's got people, bothering him. And plus, he's doing it with a little bit different engine. Um, you know, this spark main spark table right here. Maybe this is what is giving me fits. Um, but the car runs really well. And I think I went in here and I changed these values, probably zeroed these all out, and then it's pulling like it says, pulling a little bit of timing here. And here's the base. I think in his video he comes in and he changes this coolant temp, and all these things. These all control this computer and how it's trying to control the vehicle. So one thing I have learned is that you have these long-term, short-term fuel trims, and that is basically controlled by the the MAF sensor. And that's for kind of driving around town and stuff like that. There's another tune you can do called speed density, where you basically turn the MAF off. Now, on my car, I've got an integrated MAF and engine air temp. So I'm going to have to maybe separate that out, and it just depends on the type of car you've got, where your sensors are. Let's see, overspeed, underspeed. I think I changed these based off this other guy's video. Let's see, this looks, I'm just going to click on these things and then you can look at them, and if they're a little bit different than yours, see, there's knock. I'm not getting knock anymore because of the changing the map sensor out, and the TPS sensor. All right, let's go over to fuel, flood clear, disable TPS. I'm not even sure if that's coming into effect. I do see people coming into cutoff. I have changed this around. I've jacked up these a little bit. Resume. I'll probably change this back around. But that's part of the art of going through and learning HP tuners, is watching enough videos and finding out what really matters and what doesn't matter. I think I turned this off. This thing right here, target. Okay, power enrichment. This is what a lot of people go to real quick, and this is what I did. They say zero this stuff out, zero the delay out. What power enrichment is doing is normally it was going to wait till about 4,000 RPM, and then it was going to start going into this different mode. And this is some real quick power right here. And this thing has just unbelievable, torque. Not sure, TPS. And sometimes you got to read this stuff down here. Power enriched enable torque percent. And yeah, I think I set this based off of what this guy was talking about. But I'm going to have somebody who knows more about this than I do go back over my tune, and we're probably going to go for what they call a speed density tune and get rid of the MAF sensor altogether. And there's a difference between open loop and closed loop, and I'll have another video on that. So a lot of tables, but this is kind of where I've got it, where we have that primary VE. Trying to think if there's anything else I changed. Complex mode. I did turn off flex fuel. Flex fuel was on. I disabled that. And with this Corvette, it's got a diaphragm. It's got a rubber diaphragm inside the gas tank. So I'm doing research on the E85 eating that diaphragm up, and a lot of people are saying that could happen. So I wanted to run E85. I have E85. I have flex fuel injectors that can handle up to about 450, 500 horsepower. I've got obviously the fuel system that can get close to that, but I'm not sure about running E85 yet in this gas tank. So people feel free to enlighten me below. Primary VE. Yeah, I think this is right around in here. You see, I've got it jacked up. I'm still trying to figure out, is this making it richer? Is it making it leaner? But I've got all this jacked up around in here, and you notice when you look at this, that area, this is manifold KPA, engine speed, manifold KPA, engine speed. So I've been playing around in here, and you can notice, it's leaning out around in here pretty bad, and then those numbers probably I probably need to open this up. But when I'm cruising around and getting on it, I'm in this space, which is I think a healthy space. But Phil, I'm not sure what's going on there. Low pressure. This might be because it's dumping fuel or dumping air in it, and then it catches up. So I've got to clean these spots up, and there's a way to do it. Let's see. You're supposed to do percentage, and a lot of people will go into here, copy, and then you come into here, and then you go paste special, multiply by half. But I still don't know what that means yet, and I don't want to do that yet. I really want to try to do a couple of cells, but you could see, I think what this is I'm pushing, lots of fuel right here. I think that's what that means. So I definitely want to talk to somebody else that knows what the hell's going on. Let's see. Yeah, I think the multipliers are all 1. So basically this has no effect. And complex mode, don't know what that is. So watching the goat rope videos has been helpful. This guy right here, you got the Horsepower Factory dudes. They're Houston based, but he did this one right in here, and this is kind of the tune I've got. So that has been helpful. But there's just tons and tons of this stuff, all over the place on the internet, and you've just got to take your time. Let's see, transmission, general, non-electric. I think I talked about that. Making sure that that's set up right, and all this stuff. Don't think it has anything to do with performance, but let's see what we've got. If we got any more pictures. Lost my spot. There it is. So that is kind of going to be it, I guess, with this video. Put some comments down below if there's some other stuff you want to see. I'm not really getting a lot of hits on these videos. So it's kind of like, I'll put them out, but if I'm not going to get thousands and thousands of views, then it's just not really worth my time. Nothing personal. and I don't. All this information's out on the internet anyway. It just depends on where you want to look at it. The little pickup truck, an update on that bad boy is that we'll play this video. So that was some of the work I did on the little pickup truck. I spent about $200 and converted it over to this, carbureted. The adapter I used wasn't right. I had to actually drill and countersink some holes. I don't know what they were thinking, or I don't know what I was thinking, but you're basically going from the TPS or TPI flange, 3-bolt flange layout to a 4150, and I had that little carburetor actually came off the Corvette aftermarket, and so now the thing runs. I did have to. It makes. The guy was telling me that the fuel pump was all screwed up in it, but electric fuel pumps pumping fuel, and it's only about 12 psi, that's all it's supposed to be. So you saw in the video, I had the gas can. I went ahead and got an old Edelbrock, one of these little silver fuel pressure regulators, and plug that in coming from the electric fuel pump inside the truck tank, to drop it down to about 3 or 4 psi for the Holly. And so far, it seems like it's working. It's not optimal, but I'm eventually going to put an LS in that truck anyway. But in the meantime, I want to drop it, and do some other stuff to it, and I've got actually a flip kit ready to go for it. But that means potentially pulling the bed, which is fine with me, because I'm gonna put a high-end fuel pump in it for the LS while I'm at it. But then that has to get regulated down for the Holly. So in the meantime. So while I'm doing the drop kit, put a new fuel pump in it and get that all, get the lines all cleaned up on it and the power. And then later on, when I take the little motor that's in this Corvette, that's going to get slammed in that truck. So anyway, if you have any specific questions on what I'm doing, just leave a comment below. If there's any other things that I've skipped, ran over real quick that you want more detail on, just kind of let me know. But the view count's super low on these videos, and that's why every now and then I'll post something. So I don't spend a lot of time on it, as you can tell. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this stuff. Let me know if you want to see more pickup truck or more Corvette or what. But I guess finally I'll say I'm working on the nitrous kit, and I have some of these components that I've said in a other video. This little component right here is not right that I've got for the bottle I have, and obviously I'm not going to be using this type of setup, but that's going to be going on that Corvette as soon as I can get the maximum tune out, and then as soon as I learn how to get the nitrous set up and tune for nitrous. But it's turning out that I'm gonna need some drag radials or something, because right now this car has so much power that it just comes unglued and, you know, roasts the tires. So had a little bout with the ricer last night, and I have to be just so careful on the gas, or the thing will just, you know, go up in smoke. So if you're into this stuff, let me know. Man, the car is really, really starting to get fast, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So thanks